This is Ninja of the Color Podcast. I'm your host, DOTTLEY. Today is Sunday, April 9th. The Braves are losing on national TV on ESPN. So let's go ahead and get this started. On this episode, we're going to talk about the NFL Draft. The NBA playoffs are starting. The Braves are back. The Mandalorian Scooby episode. Why is it hard to ask what you want in a relationship without offending people? Also, if you asked your woman to marry you and she said no, what? Would the relationship be over? And has women's college basketball arrived? Yes, this is the Ninja of the Color Podcast. Rate us, review us. Give us 5 stars. Give us 4 stars. Give us 3 stars. Give us 2 stars. Give us 1 star. If you give us no stars, I'll just assume that we're doing it correctly. You can rate, review, subscribe for free wherever you get your podcast. We're available at Spotify, Amazon Music, Samsung Podcast, Pandora, Google Podcast, and TuneIn. Yes, we're still working on Apple. Yes, we're still working on Apple Podcast, but right now, let's get it started. Yep. Let's get it started with, again, this is Ninja of the Color Podcast. I'm your host, DOTTLEY. Yes, the Braves are currently losing 10-2 on national TV. Before we start, we'd like to shout out our members who have downloaded and listened to our podcast in Ashford, Virginia, San Jose, California, Boardman, Washington, Dallas, Texas, Frankfurt, Germany, Charlotte, North Carolina, West Palm Beach, Florida, Arcagana, Snellville, Georgia. We do appreciate the listen. Tell a friend to tell a friend so we can expand the podcast, okay? Right now, the Braves are losing. They're going to lose a 4-game series to the San Diego Padres, but Michael, we don't have a full team. We have a lot of injuries, and it's the first of the year. So let's go some highlights from the only game that we won.
The boys are back home at Truist Park before the game. The players walking through, the fans lining the streets. Stetson Bennett throwing out the first pitch. All the festivities, the pennant unveiling, another NL East title. 5 consecutive, looking to make it 6 this year. And now number 99 is back and ready to start the home opener for the Braves against the San Diego Padres. Stepping up to the plate for San Diego, playing center field will be Trent Grisham. What a great start. Grisham down swinging. How about this matchup? 2 young stars in the game, Spencer Strider and the 24-year-old superstar Juan Soto. On the ground right side, Ozzie Albies. 2 down for Manny Machado. And on the right side, the payoff. Machado's done. Padres are done at the top of the first. With Blake's on the mound for the Padres. 30-year-old left-hander, second career start against the Braves. Braves. Pitchers tonight's matchup, 998 career strikeouts, looking for 1,000. Ronald hitting 370, had a terrific road trip. This now Austin Riley, a couple of homers in St. Louis, sitting on 99 career round trippers. This one is hit high in the air. Soto waits, takes, Acuna tags. Waits. This guy at the plate, Michael Harris, boy is he special. 1-1 from Snell. Ground ball weakly out to second, coming along Kim. Gloves, goes to second for one, over to first man in time. Cut down Murphy at second base on a 4-6 put out, but Harris beats it out on a fielder's choice. Runner goes, pitch on the way, check swing, didn't go, throw down to second base, and that's off the bat. Stolen base for Michael Harris. And Odor to lead it off. 2-2 pitch, at strike three. That's the fourth strikeout for Strider. Entering Ha-Seong Kim up to the plate. That's another strike. Just beautiful location from Spencer Strider, and he struck out 5. Entering Juan Soto to the plate. He's 0 for 1 with a ground out. Weekly tap back where it came from. Strider first. Side retired. Number 9 hitter Orlando Arcia leads off against Blake Snell. This one is trouble left, and that ball is Orlando. See you later. 400 for Orlando. Boy, oh boy, did he time that fastball on the 3-0 count. Great extension and a low laser out of here. Olsen with 3 homers on the season. This one the other way. And it gets by Soto. Olsen standing at second base with a 1-out double. It's so funny, I said his glove, it kind of slowed it down. I thought this ball had touched all the way. The word on Michael Harris is that it's a lower back issue, and they just took him out to be cautious, and that's why Sam Hilliard is out in center field. We were back there looking at the slide when he went to the second, and I think if you see, he kind of almost belly flopped kind of and landed funny, and you could see when he got up to a knee, a little discomfort. Marty's got to find a way to get on the board this inning. Left center field, and Hilliard after that, that's going to fall for a base hit. And thinking too is Machado. He's headed to second base, high throw, and Manning gets in sliding. So a double and good aggressive base right there by Machado to start things here in the 4th inning. And Bogarts walked in the second inning, the only walk allowed by Strider. Strider sets and deals the 0-2. Crowder right back in the middle. Strider, look at this. They get Machado in a world of trouble. They get the lead off to Q2. That's ball 4. The runners at first and second, only 1 down. Here's Carpenter. Driven to right field. Acuna Jr. moving over, and that ball is going to be gone. A 3-run home run. Matt Carpenter, it's a 3-run shot, and the Padres take a 3-2 lead. Line drive home run just up over the fence in right field for Matt Carpenter. That's huge. So here's Sean Murphy. First time the Atlanta Braves home crowd has gotten a look at him. And this one is pretty well hit to center. It's very well hit. It's off the base of the wall, and it's a stand-up double for Sean Murphy. He's 2 for 2. And now here's Sam Hilliard. So he takes the spot in the order where Michael Harris was, batting 7th. Swing and a miss, and he struck him out. That is actually the 1,000th career strikeout for Blake Snell. It's up to Kevin Millar here in the bottom of the 4th inning. This one in the left center of the ball game is tied as Murphy jumps home. 3 apiece. Back-to-back walks. And a load up for paddles. Miss nowhere near. Braves back in front. 3 straight walks for Snell. And that is all she wrote for the Padres lefty. And Ha-Seong Kim leads it off for the Friars. Loop to left center, and that's going to fall for a base hit for Kim. So Kim on to start things here in the 5th. And the order turns over. Here's Trent Grisham. 1-2 pitch, got it. Trent Grisham down on strikes. It's now 8 Ks for the right-hander. Off again, and Soto will take ball 4. First and second, 1 out for Machado. And the pitch. Swing, and then struck him out. Got him to chase a slider. Strikeout number 9. Cronenworth, the batter, the new pitcher for the Atlanta Braves, is one of the new faces. First time the home crowd gets a look at the lefty, Lucas Lidke.
is 1 for 2 with a walk. That hit was a double in the third inning.
To first, it's a fair ball, and Cronenworth will tag the bag for out number 2.
Here's Austin Riley.
Popped up, foul ground, long run, and over the shoulder! Cronenworth makes the catch! Nice over-the-shoulder grab by Jay Cronenworth. A walk to Bogarts, a walk to Cronenworth. The Padres have something brewing here at the top of the 8th. And the dirt gets away. Here comes Bogarts. The throw to the plate is late. And the Padres take the lead. And the safety squeeze down the third baseline. The throw is going to be in the right field. Cronenworth has scored, and now Zokar is running around the bases. He's headed for third, and he will get there with a slide. Padres take a 6-4 lead. The safety squeeze.
They got Wells up to the plate, looking to score the run with 2 down.
1-2. The other one is fair. It's a one-run game. RBI single Matt Olson. Olson at second, Riley at first. Here's Travis Darno. Travis sends it to the right side of the base hit. Here comes Matt Olson around third. Azokar fires to the plate. Play at the plate. Save! And a tie game.
As he's swinging it from the right side, a base hit gets the Braves the lead.
Move to left center. In comes Soto. Dives and makes the catch. Juan Soto in left center field makes the catch. Keeps this game tied. Here we go. Stage is set. Bottom of the ninth. Tie game. So Eddie Rosario will get an opportunity to be the hero with 2 outs and nobody on. This one, line to right. Eddie's got extra bases. Winning run 180 feet away.
Orlando Arcia's had a great night to this point. A homer, a walk, a double, 2-run score.
2-2. That's your starting shortstop right there, Atlanta. How's that game for you?
Yep, the first game of the series, yeah, they won, but they dropped the next 3. They are now 6-4 with this one tonight. Yeah, 6-4. But I'm still thinking they're gonna win the World Series because no Fried, no Wright, no Michael Harris, no Iglesias. A lot of injuries. Darno on the 7-day concussion deal. So that's what we gotta hold on to. But I still think they're gonna win the East and make the playoffs. Alright. Moving on to, well, before I go, we have to fix the bullpen. Tyler Yates needs to be cut. C-U-T-T, cut. Now we can move on. Alright. Okay. The draft is the end of the month, and I'm seeing online, side note, the Ravens have signed OBJ for a 1-year deal for $18 million. I think that's to appease Lamar. Lamar wasn't going anywhere, so if he wants to go there, that's fine. He's a number 1. Okay. The Falcons have spent a lot of money in free agency. They beefed up the defense, so they're picking 8th. A lot of mock drafts have them picking either a corner or a defensive end. Alright. Here's my thing. We've done enough in free agency to fix some of our needs, so that first pick will be best player available. In my opinion, if Jalen Carter from Georgia is available, you pick him. The running back from Texas, B.J. Raji, if he's available, pick him. So, first, if you get the best player available, which is a running back, nobody wants to pick a running back in the first round, so what? Yes, last year we picked running back in the 3rd round, but you can't bank on that every year you have a diamond in the rough. If that was true, they would have so many diamonds in the rough. But this year, the positions that are deep are corner, defensive end. So you can pick the running back at 8. That would solidify the offense, but hey, that's just me. This is what NFL Network is talking about.
Playing cornerback. He'll light you up. He contains on the outside, he gets off of blocks, and in an NFL with a lot of screens and short throws, you as a cornerback have to be able to tackle, and this guy does it at the highest level. As one of McShay's saying, file inspector, he is not a file inspector. He makes a file tackle. From a pure coverage corner standpoint, man-to-man, even some zone, and the athletic traits that he has, he's the best cover corner in this draft. And you look at 28 last year in completion percentage, and the fact that they need a long-term answer opposite A.J. Terrell, to me, the Falcons, this makes a lot of sense. I love Gonzalez in his...
Yeah, but if they're going to keep Hayward, what's the sense? Is there a better corner deeper in the next round? Like I said, the corner position is deep in the draft. You can get a good corner in the 2nd round, but they addressed a lot of pass rush needs on defense. So hey, why not? Why not go ahead and get what the hell am I talking about? I'm talking about you get the corner, the best player available. You're not pigeon-toed into getting, but the thing is, I don't think Jalen Carter will be there, and you can get a good corner since you're keeping. If you don't cut Hayward, doesn't make any sense to get a corner right there. Even though he's on his last year's contract, you can go ahead and get a corner next year and get one in free agency. All right, moving on to the NBA. The playoffs are set. Well, not set. Play-in and playoffs are set right now. This was the last week of the season. The play-in starts on Tuesday, I think. Yeah. So let's go ahead and see what the experts say.
That's right now has got your eye as a team that, hey, look, this team could go to the NBA Finals. Who are the teams in the West you think can go to the NBA Finals?
I do think that the Los Angeles Lakers is a sleeper team of the West. In terms of, they're not sleeper in terms of talent.
Who can name the teams in the Western Conference, Kenny, that you think could go to the NBA Finals?
There's about 4.
That's why I'm asking you to name them.
I think the Denver Nuggets can go in. I'm sorry, Memphis Grizzlies. I think they
you get 2 teams. You don't get 4 teams. Name 4. I said half the teams. I said name 4. No, I didn't. I just said name the teams you think can go. Pick 2 with an S. Pick 2. You don't get 4. You don't get half. You have as many as you want.
I think pick a sure and pick a sleeper. There you go. I say it's going to be the Lakers and Clippers my Clippers are my for sure, and my Lakers are my sleeper. The Suns are my for sure, and Golden State is my sleeper.
Okay, Denver Nuggets and the Clippers.
I have not changed since March Madness. The Clippers and the Denver Nuggets, not the Clippers, the Clippers and the Denver Nuggets, those are my 2 teams.
But you said the Nuggets are going to the Western Conference.
They're going to the Western Conference Finals.
Okay.
Yes, they are.
And your Kings are going to win a series.
They're going to beat the Warriors or whoever they play on the Lakers.
So there's no belief here in Golden State getting back to the NBA.
Yes, I said yes. They're my sleeper team.
Okay, so I'm sorry. You said
Phoenix is my
Phoenix and Golden State.
Okay. I think the one thing about with Warriors is obviously they mentioned the Andrew Wiggins scenario, not being in and not playing a lot, trying to come back right now in the playoffs. The greatest players in the world have tried that and it doesn't work. So I think that's a difficult. How's your hip over there, man? I see you moving, bro. That's right.
All right. For the West, I think the ones that can make it, the Nuggets, because they're the number one seed. If it breaks right, the Nuggets, the Lakers, and Golden State. That's my top three if it breaks right. I think the Clippers can, but I don't think Paul George ain't back, and I don't think he's coming back for either the first or second round. So if they get him back during the conference, maybe. In the East, it's the Bucks. Bucks and nobody else. As long as they don't get hurt, what's his name? No injuries. Yeah, the Bucks are gonna go back to the finals and they're gonna win. I think the Bucks will repeat. They'll probably play. If they play Golden State, they'll dominate them. But I think if it breaks right, Golden State can win the West. If it breaks right, because they just getting back what's his name. And everyone likes to have a repeat champion, but hey, they can do so. Alright, moving on. Star Wars Celebration, it was in London. And they announced a lot of stuff, but they haven't announced the one thing that I want, which is the renewal of the Bad Batch. Bad Batch ended this year, and they haven't announced it. I haven't seen anything, but they did announce the Ahsoka trailer. They showed the Ahsoka trailer, and it will be premiering in August. So check it out.
Something's coming. Something dark. I sense it.
This is a new beginning. For some, war. For others, power.
It's been a while. Things have changed. I started hearing whispers about Dawn's return as heir to the Empire. We have to prepare for the worst. The Jedi fell a long time ago. There aren't many left.
Perhaps it is time to begin again.
Yes, that is the Ahsoka series that will be premiering in August. They showed Sabine, Ezra, Chopper, the Ghost, and Harrison Dula. The cast of Rebels. Are you gonna see Zeb? Most likely, you probably will. And this will be premiering in August. It's a bomb trailer, but who knows? Alright, moving on to The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian had three episodes. No, not 3 episodes. Had a Scooby-Doo episode, which was episode 6, but regular, I don't remember doing episode 5, so we're gonna check episode 5. Check it out.
I knew that Corsair looked familiar. I don't believe my eyes. Navarro is now under the protection of the New Republic. I thought you'd hail me again, unless it's to surrender.
I really thought Navarro was gonna make it. They're swamped. They'll never get an answer in time. You, Scooby.
I'm going down to the commissary. Can I get you anything?
Thank you, I'm fine. Have you ever heard of Navarro?
I have. Spent some time there, in fact.
I don't even know we have the resources. This isn't a rebellion anymore. We have a structure now. There's something dangerous happening out there. And by the time it becomes big enough for you to act, it'll be too late. Coruscant doesn't care. The New Republic has to know that the Empire is growing again. I just keep telling you your friend is in danger, and I thought you should know.
You can't do it alone.
And has risked his life to save mine, as well as the foundling in my charge. Great Karga is now a high magistrate, and has offered me a tract of land on his independent world. And our children can feel what it is to play in the sunlight.
I saw many die to save the life of this one tiny foundling. Because we are Mandalorians.
I'll use this to drop you in, and you will operate as a tight military unit. No bombardment capabilities. The N1 will distract the Corsair and her stuff. You lived there once, hiding in the sewers. You can be heroes.
Understood. Thanks for your help, Mando.
You're clear to start your run.
Then bring them back! Now have a home. Thank you.
It will be a moment. But the mythosaur existed only in legends. You saw it, and you have walked both worlds. You were the one who can unite us. Okadon Grace is going off to bring other Mandalorians in exile to us. She can bring all tribes together. It's time to retake Mandalore.
And Mom, body's missing. This was an extraction. It's a fragment of Beskar alloy. Are you saying that Moff Gideon was taken by Mandalorians?
Yep. I think that's a setup. And also they showed a body in the debris, thinking it was Cara Dune maybe. You never know. Alright, that was episode 5. From that one we got an exciting, let's see, what's the word I'm looking for? An exciting episode where they can go ahead and show how Mandalorians survive, how they fight. You had the pod racer shooting on the big ship, and you had Bo-Katan as the leader. Alright, in episode 6, they're going to show you how to solve mysteries, because this was a Scooby-Doo episode, or an NCIS episode, and they had a lot of guest stars, such as Jack Black, spoiler alert, Lizzo, Alice in Wonderland theme. So check it out.
There's reason to believe you absconded with her son.
It's a lie.
Is that all this was to you? Who cares about fate? I love you. I thought Mandalorians were honorable.
Well, I bet Axe Woves is their leader now. It's going to take some convincing to get them to join us. Welcome to Planet 15. I guess we're going for a ride.
This is interesting.
Everyone, special guests! I was once a facilities planning officer, and thanks to the New Republic Amnesty Program, I was
It was time for our planet to move into a new age. We held direct democratic
our resources for the growth and the people.
The past imperial droids were reprogrammed for peace.
I personally, weaponry and armor are intrinsic to your culture, are they not?
They are.
I knew you would help us.
Hold on there, Your Majesty. We didn't agree to have it.
These droids all
Why not turn them off? Who's in charge of that?
There's a fail-safe cut-off switch. If we shut down the droids, our citizens wouldn't know how to survive.
See what happens when you rely on droids.
Are you taking this personally?
Just pointing it out. Find the fun that wheel and help us with our tasks. I have spoken.
Citizens have been harmed by these malfunctioning machines.
This is not the case.
We know that our nuts are considered the hardest working species in the galaxy. We would appreciate your help. Accusing the work of malfunctioning is an insult.
You should have left it alone.
This is a crime scene.
The resistor.
If you don't start answering questions, I'll yank your memory circuit and dissect it back at the lab.
Look, you are not helping.
We don't want to be replaced. We still have a lot to contribute. Human life is so short. They don't ask that much of us. These droids were ordered by an individual, Commissioner Hellgate.
There's no way out.
Count Dooku was consulted in prime by the Jedi and Force.
For now, you must live in exile on the moon of Paraquat. You will always be welcome in our domed paradise. You are now a knight of the ancient order of independent regencies. Go in peace, brave travelers.
Do you accept my challenge?
You won't even take the dark side before me. And this blade was taken from me. She defeated the enemy that defeated me. Would this blade then not belong to her?
It would.
I return this blade to its rightful owner.
Alright, due to a technicality, yep, Bo has the Darksaber. Darksaber is cursed, but it is what it is. Guest stars are Christopher Lloyd, Jack Black, Lizzo. This was a Scooby episode, a filler, and it was directed by Bryce Dallas Howard. I hope she did. I wanted her to do better, but she didn't. But it is what it is. Alright, there are 2 more episodes. Hopefully they'll be better than this one. And I hope they announce that the new Bad Batch season next year instead of 2 years like they did the last time. And Skeleton Crew, and I think they're gonna hopefully they'll bring back Cara Dune. Alright, this is the Ninja of Another Color podcast. I am your host, DOTTLEY. This is a podcast I give you current events, sports, whatever. Rate us, review us, subscribe. You can do that for free wherever you get your podcasts. You can do it on Spotify, Amazon Music, Samsung Music, Pandora, Google Podcasts, TuneIn. Yes, we're still working on Apple. Give us 5 stars, give us 4 stars, give us 3 stars, give us 2 stars, even give us 1 star. If you don't give us any stars, I'll just assume that we are just doing it perfectly. For one of our main stories tonight, this past week, the NCAA crowned 2 champions. UConn in the men, LSU in the women. The women's tournament was better for consumption due to they had a villain. Not a villain, but they had one player who was making noise, and it was Caitlin Clark. She was the star of the tournament, I guess, because they took down the number 1 team, the South Carolina Gamecocks, who were 36-0, I think, and they lost before the semifinals, and it was a good game. But Caitlin Clark went to the finals. She's a kind of a female Steph Curry, where she shoots from distance and she shoots in volumes. And they just got dog walked by LSU. But overshadowing the game was a controversy, because the star from the LSU Tigers, Angel Reese, gave it back to where Caitlin was doing the same thing, but the adults in the room took over. But let's hear what the experts say.
Welcome back to the show. Time winding down before LSU wins the championship over Iowa. Angel Reese with the Can't See Me celebration / talk made famous first by John Cena, and more recently by Caitlin Clark herself. Here's Reese after the game.
All year, I was critiqued about who I was. Nobody, I don't got the narrative. I don't fit the narrative. I don't fit in the box that y'all want me to be in. I'm too hood. I'm too ghetto. Y'all told me that all year. But when other people do it, y'all don't say nothing. So this was for the girls that look like me, that's going to speak up on what they believe in. It's unapologetically you. And that's what I did it for tonight. This was for it was bigger than me tonight. It was bigger than me. Twitter is gonna go in a rage every time. And I mean, I'm happy. I feel like I've outgrown women's basketball this year. I'm super happy and excited.
Well, she hit it on the head when she said, but y'all don't say anything when other people do it. Now, if Caitlin Clark hadn't done anything, and I'll get to what she's done, and, it was just nobody was taunting anybody throughout the tournament, and at the end of this game, when they're about to win the championship, if she's looking at an opponent and doing all, I would be bothered by it. I would be like, come on, act like you've been there, you're better than that. But the context is that Caitlin Clark was doing this earlier in the tournament, and we'll show it. She was, when they played Louisville, you'll see she did the "you can't see me" to an opponent about to on fire during the game. And then she also told the girl, "Shut up, you're down 15," when the girl was talking or saying something. So Angel Reese is right. If you were going to be critical of Caitlin Clark when she was talking trash, then don't be critical of the black girl. I'm just going to say it. Of the black girl when she does the same thing. If you're going to be critical of one, be critical of the other. If you're going to let it go and praise it and it's cute and oh, how competitive she is, look at that, then say that of when the African-American girl does it too. So I mean, I wouldn't want to see that, like I said, in a vacuum, but in the whole context, I completely get it, so I'm fine with what Angel Reese did.
The entire reaction to this is steeped in so much sexism and racism. It's just anyone ignoring it, folks being like, oh, it's different because Angel Reese was the 4th leading scorer. That girl's a first-team unanimous All-American, most outstanding player. Who said she was the 4th? No, she was in that game. She was the 4th leading scorer. Here's the deal. Tournament. I'm going to run through 3 things quickly. First one is this. This whole weekend and the whole tournament was amazing for women's college basketball. Caitlin Clark was great for women's college basketball. Angel Reese was great for women's college basketball. That was the best played game of this tournament, either gender. The shot making, all of it. It was outstanding. Everything was great about that this whole weekend except for the officiating in that game. Right. That's first of all. Second of all, the reason I said sexism is there is an element of we don't want our female athletes to be as aggressive and swaggery as we want our male athletes to be oftentimes. Unless, of course, you're a white female athlete, in which case, even though you are the baddest son of a gun on the court, as Caitlin Clark has been all year, the media will turn you into an underdog. She ain't nobody's underdog. She's talking all the trash, and she's backing it all up. And then we get to the third point. A tale as old as time. America does not like the braggadocious, boisterous, authentically arrogant black athlete. And whether you're a man or a woman, there are certain things that are going to set off the criticism alarms. And that is the black athlete that it doesn't just act like, oh my God, I'm so happy to be here, thank you for the opportunity. The black athlete that will say, I just kicked your ass and I'm going to revel in it. And it is especially galling to folks when they're doing that to a white athlete whose ass they just kicked. And I understand that there are many, many people, some of whom love this show, and to those people I apologize. They are more bothered by the discussions of race than they are by actual racism. But the reaction this young woman received was racist. Flat. And you know who was not bothered by it? Caitlin Clark. Because she does it, and she's a competitor, she's awesome, and she knows it's fair game.
Right, and look, I don't want trash talk. Like I said, I wouldn't have liked it. You don't love trash talk. I love trash. But you don't need to rub it in somebody's face like that when you just beat them, unless they do all the talking too. And she's been talking like that. But taunting, general, a little gamesmanship here and there, I'm cool with. But they don't even like men doing that nowadays. The NBA, how many times you just look at somebody after dunking on you and they give you a tap? I think they do need to lighten up, and this overall shouldn't be the big story. The big story should be LSU, the championship, the way the one girl, Jasmine Carson, comes off the bench.
7%
It's all
first half.
I mean, and Caitlin Clark, to your point, was phenomenal. And that should all be the story instead of this, because it really wasn't that big of a deal.
I thought it was one of the most effective trash talks of all time, because I thought it was aimed at sort of 3 people. And it wasn't trash talk. One was aimed at Caitlin Clark, like, hey, not only did you do this, but you also disrespected SEC. Yeah. So she said that. So that's one. 2, it was aimed at the media. Like, she knew the outrage that was going to happen, and she said it was on Twitter, and she wanted to be herself. So that was like, I got 2 for 1. And then 3, the fact that she, in that quote that we played, wanted to be inspirational a little bit in an interesting way. Like, hey, this is for everybody who looks at me. It was an effective trash talk, and it was a good media. There was a little bit at Caitlin Clark as a lot at the media, it felt like. Like she knew what it was gonna engender, and it worked. It got people outraged, and the people that what's so frustrating, savvy, is the only reason anyone would have been outraged, except for the select few that were furious with Caitlin a week ago, of which I have seen almost none. Right. Are folks that whether they know it or not, some people right now are watching saying that bothered me and had nothing to do with race. Yes, it did. Whether you are recognizing, admitting it or not, seeing that taller, proud, imposing black woman taunt that white girl, something in your reptilian brain, it bothered you. And race is inextricably tied to this. And folks want to pretend it wasn't. It was. And that young woman should be very proud. And standing up at that press conference and saying I'm authentically myself, and I apologize for it, I thought it was great.
Okay, coming up after the break, we're discussing the men's national champ.
All right. For context, did you know Nick Wright either married or dated a black woman, because he has a black daughter? Second point. Jill Biden put her foot in the mouth talking about invite Iowa because it's a good sportsmanship thing. The only problem that I have with that is that someone said that they didn't accept her apology, but this is the first lady. They made a mistake. The coaches, because it's Louisiana and you know how they are, the coaches should have said, hey, yes, we know she made a mistake. You don't have to act like that. But hey, it is what it is, but you should not cut off opportunities. You never know, because Joe will probably run again and will go ahead and help the state. You never know when you get your opportunities, and if you just cut them off, spike your nose for your face. All right. Everybody is backing Ashley Reese because the backlash was kind of crazy. Even Barstool got into it. Check it out.
Good afternoon. Come on, Dave. What's your name? I got this. First of all, before we even begin, I just want to establish something. Angela Reese and the whole LSU, yeah, y'all did your thing. Y'all did congratulations. Congratulations, Angela. You did your thing. Second of all, I want to say something. It's cool that they do it as a problem if I do it. A great poet from our culture, Finesse Two-Time, once said that. Let me establish something very important. We talk about sports, we talk about basketball. Sports is the game where trash talk is done. Now, as we can see what took place this weekend, Caitlin got up, she did her thing. I'm not here to bash Caitlin, not this winter. I'm not here to bash them. She did her thing, she's the shit. She did her thing, she's the shit. But there wasn't no outrage, there wasn't no upset when she did it. She might got a complexion for the connection, but that's another story. But I'm gonna say this. Shout out to Angela Reese, y'all did a great thing. Y'all did y'all thing. Congratulations for being the champions. And I'm gonna say this. We don't stand with nothing that Dave Portnoy said in any type, shape, form, or fashion. We're not in agreement with that. We're not in alignment with that in any way. And number two, $1 million worth of game. LLC is owned by two people. Wallace Peoples and Fedora Garcia. We do not work for Barstool. We have a partnership. We have a licensing deal. 100% ownership is by us. We don't have no bosses. I only got one boss, and that's God. And my wife, whenever that happens, whenever I get married. But other than that, that's how we rock. You're your boss. Yeah. That's like she got that. That's how you know. People have truly got the control of the mother. Well, shut up. Yeah. So, but what I'm saying is, shout out to Angela Reese. She did a great job. Young sister. And we not just gonna stand for that. Like Dave, for her to be a classless piece of shit because of basketball, you're wrong about that shit. And we love you, Dave. We fuck with you, Dave, but we fuck with you, Lord. You're totally out of pocket for that. You're wrong for that. For a human being to be a classless piece of shit for sports where it's nothing but trash talk and talk, we're not doing that. We're not gonna do that shit. And we're not gonna let you do that to art. We can't go for that shit. We're not gonna be having that. But shout out to Angela Reese, she did your thing. Shout out to everybody that was involved, all you women, played the ball, had a hell of a time. But we need to be talking about something different. Shout out to Albert, too. They came up and played hard. They didn't play hard. Shout out to them who let us shoot. Y'all did a great job. Congratulations, Queens, on your championship. And it's just like that. Right. Let's go.
Yeah, the dude from Barstool, open racism, man. That's all it is. Shout out to LSU and all that good stuff. All right. Moving forward to, I guess, our final topic. If as a man, you ask your girl to marry them and they tell you no, is the relationship over? In my opinion, it might not be over, but it's on the way to being over. Alright, I saw this on another podcast, so let's go ahead and get into the discussion.
Original question. If a man gets down on his knee, his whole family's
It's not over.
and you say no.
It depends on what you We understand that.
I can't agree with that because that sounds like a peer pressure situation.
Right. If the woman not ready, she not ready. We can't put her to be ready. Then that shows how you're not really there for her. It's not like you want to have her because
Why would you turn it down? No, let me ask you this. Women always say, damn, you've been in a relationship for a long time with this man. Why y'all not married? So now is there a time frame on when marriage should come in?
No, I don't think it's based on. I think it's based on who the relationship.
Yeah.
But I could understand why a man would feel like if he proposed and the woman said no, that the relationship is over. Because I personally believe that it takes men are just not out here proposing to people. It's just not something that's done. So I believe it takes a lot of steps for a man to get to that point. And men don't like rejection. Yeah.
Nobody likes rejection.
Men especially. They try to hate.
Those are not men. They cursing you out after you say no. Those are not men. Those are not men. We don't blame them. Those are not men.
I don't feel like a man saying no and he proposed.
We as men get discovered.
I don't want to get confused on the level of rejection. A lot of times when guys are just hollering at a random chick walking by, they know it's a hit and miss. Like, let me just see. Let me see if she stopped. They don't even be serious sometimes. If you are proposing to somebody, that's different. It's totally different. Like you said, in front of my boys, in front of my family, for this, it's a sense of pride that's there now. Because now you're the guy who, look at you trying to marry her. Like, because a lot of guys get joked on here because they take that step towards marriage. And she said no. Now comes in the question of why she's saying no. Is there someone else? Or what's going on? Like, these are the things that I know would run through a man's head. They're not thinking of it, maybe she's not ready, or maybe this, she has other things that she wants to do in life, not just relationship-wise, just before she's ready to take that step. Because also, there's a lot of things that come with marriage. Marriage is not easy. And I think sometimes people get into it for the wrong reasons. Maybe it's something with you that she's maybe not believe that you're ready. Like, we just got into whatever this time, and then he's proposing to me. Like, I don't think. That's what I'm saying. Y'all gotta think about, as men, when y'all propose to women, y'all not spending y'all whole life planning y'all wedding or planning how you want to be when you get married. We, as women, you think about. I don't give a fuck how many women that says. I feel like I don't care about how many women that says that they don't ever want to get married. It ran through their mind before. No, there are men that want to get married. That think about it. They just haven't found the person that they feel fits the criteria to be their wife. There are men who be like, yo, when I get married, or when I set up, this is what I want my wife to be, this is my suit that I want. You know, black men, y'all want an all white suit, want an all white suit. Look at this movie idea of all white suit. Whatever reason, I just want to look like the good human ice cream. There are some men out there that aspire to be married one day. I don't think. Well, I've never met anybody that wants to die alone. That was like, you know what, I want to be by myself.
Well, marriage doesn't guarantee that you won't.
No, it doesn't. But it gives some sense of security. Like, hey, we made vows to be with each other forever, to death do us part, and sickness and health. Those are the words that set up for, you know, and eternity. Yeah.
Because marriage is a big responsibility. I don't think people really realize that you got to put you're now combining
having families now.
You don't have to.
You don't have to work.
You have if you believe that. Because you have some people that been married 2, 3, 4, 5 times. They get married, get divorced, get married again, like him, because they don't take it that. You have to know how the person that you're trying to marry perceives marriage.
Right.
Because there's some people like with open marriages. There's some people that's like, oh, this doesn't work. Oh, I'm getting a divorce. Like once you already say that your marriage is doomed. Because you're already looking at the back door. Yeah. You're already like, if one thing I don't like happens, I'm over there with it. So I think you have to understand what the person that you're marrying, what their perception of marriage is. If you're not on the same page, you're gonna have issues somewhere along the way. So you feel like if a woman say no, it's over, the relationship over? I tend to think like a guy a lot, so
Because to Remy's credit, everything she said is running through the man's head. When you say no, that's what we run through their head. They're not thinking about not ready. It's like, oh, she got somebody else. This ain't like that. Whatever. We going for it.
It may not be over. I don't think it'll be. I think it's based on a bond.
But you should, if you say no, you should be prepared for that relationship to end. I'm not guaranteeing that.
On a cheat right after that. It's gonna be over.
Alright. They go back and forth about it, but like I said, I agree where it might not be over, but it's on the way. Because check it out, if a dude knows that he wants to marry you, he knows. Yeah, he needs to find out if you're gonna say yes. Drop some leading questions. Make sure you don't embarrass yourself, because you're gonna spend money on the ring, and then when she says no because she's not ready, the first thing you say is like, damn, you don't want me? Who you got? Who got your back? Like the things you did for this person comes up, and you're like, damn, why am I wasting my time? Alright, one more thing, check this out.
What's up? This is Jeff T. Jones, and today we're going to be talking about how to deal with a girl who you asked out who said no. So the question that I got in the email, and I got this a couple times, is, hey, I asked this girl out, she didn't really say no, but she made an excuse, and now she's avoiding me, she's being serious, she's acting weird. What do I do to get her? What do I do to get her?
Alright, that was the wrong thing. But hey, back to it. You spend $3,000 on a ring, and then they say no, and they want to go back to a relationship. So I don't think that's possible. It will mess with your head. It will definitely mess with your head.
You know what it's really like?
And the relationship won't be the same. Alright. So, if you have any feedback, please hit us up on Facebook, Ninja of Another Color on Facebook. Hit us up on Ninja of Another Color at Gmail. We're also available on TikTok and Instagram. I am your host, D-O-T-T-L-E-Y. This is the Ninja of Another Color podcast. You can rate, review, subscribe free wherever you get your podcast, and we are available on Spotify, Amazon Music, Samsung Podcasts, Pandora, Google Podcasts, and TuneIn. Yes, we're still working on Apple. Give us 5 stars, give us 4 stars, give us 3 stars, give us 2 stars, give us any stars. If you don't give me any stars, I'll just assume I'm doing it perfectly. Please tell a friend to tell a friend. I appreciate all the people who download and listen to the podcast. Thank you so much, and we're out.